Hey guys, had a request for a Tesla update, so we're going to dive into the chart. Just get a quick video out there. We're going to talk about the high to low time frame of Tesla, what we see from a technical perspective here. So ideally, first thing we notice, upsloping trend line continuing to hold for now since 2019, acting as support in 2020, 2022, 2024 as well. So we do recognize this upsloping trend line. This is the ideal area of entering, in my opinion. So if we can see kind of, we came down, retested it here. We had a lot of buyers step in this zone in through here. So I'll pull up that on the 3-day chart and show you. But essentially what we see is we do have the opportunity. If we came back and tagged this trend line, that would be a good buy for Tesla, in my opinion. So targeting this kind of anything under $200 is going to be really good value, down to about $175. That's my ideal target. We also have this high time frame horizontal support zone in through here, kind of around 215. So also an opportunity to accumulate some Tesla around 215. We've previously said that 250 or below was a good DCA opportunity. 215 was the more of an accumulation target. So good DCA buys, good accumulation opportunity, but also still recognizing the potential we could come back and retag this trend line in a further breakdown. So that's going to be the target for a higher time frame accumulation opportunity under 200 down towards 175. And then you're looking like buying into this high area of accumulation. So I'll flip to, we'll look at the indicators first on the weekly, and then I'll go to the 3-day, the 1-day, and we'll take a look at the very low time frame and get a good idea of everything that's going on as a whole here. So in our weekly chart, we pull our momentum indicators. We see we got a bullish cross of the RSI, but it is curling back over here. The MACD, red histogram slowing down, curling up, looking good. Vortex indicator starting to curl up, also what we want to see. And we want to see the DMI continuing to push that orange line below the ADX and see that blue line start to break above the orange. So on the weekly right now, we still could have a little bit of time before we get that definitive move. We're going to flip to the 3-day. I'm going to show you where the accumulating was done kind of by some of the bigger buyers utilizing our big money buy indicator. So you can see right here, we had 4 gold bars flash in this time span in through here. So when we take the time span basically right here and we kind of factor in the candles, so right here this candle is where they were buying ultimately all through here. This tells me that big or smart money was accumulating Tesla in this region down here. Also they bought the trend line, they bought this trend line here, and they're buying right now with this gold bar printing here. You see the vortex indicator coming closer to that convergence that we want to see. We want to get a bullish cross. Same with the DMI, looking for that bullish cross. Bullish cross on the MACD with a histogram flipping green, and a bullish cross on the RSI. So looking pretty good from a weekly and a 3-day perspective. As long as we hold this trend line, we're looking good. Let's zoom in on the more current price action here. So what we're looking at on the 3-day chart, sitting well above that VRVP point of control. So I talk about that lots. That is a resistance or support level. So we're sitting above that nicely. We're above this horizontal support. So where is the next likely entry? We came up, retested almost the 50-day moving average here, experiencing a little bit of resistance. So I pull my Fibonacci from this low to this high. The reason I do that is because we've already played out in this rally here. So up there we had a Fibonacci retracement, same thing here, a substantial Fibonacci retracement. So from this low to this high is the current retracement that we're targeting. We've broken out of this downtrending price action here. Price is above the 200-day, it's above our 8-day and 21-day EMA with bullish price action looking there, curling up. I'm not surprised to see it meet some resistance at the 50-day. That is strong traditional resistance, but look at all the support now that we have down here. This could be a good opportunity for a swing trade for Tesla, in my opinion. So we have the 200-day moving average, this blue line here. We've got the 200-week moving average, this green line here. We've got our Fibonacci support, our golden zone through here. We've got our down sloping trend line support. We've got our horizontal support, and we've got our VRVP support here. So watch for that entry in Tesla to come back. We're looking around sub 260 kind of is going to be that 0.5 and lower. If you can get towards the 0.618 or 786, that's going to be the better entry. So 237 up to about 260 could be that swing trade opportunity for Tesla. And we will take, we see, obviously I say price never goes straight up or down. So this is what I'm talking about. We get our reversal structure. We're starting to put in those higher highs, higher lows. Look for that subsequent higher low here, and then we can continue up. Maybe we hit our target here before coming back testing that 50-day moving average and getting above it. And that's that uptrend structure that I want to see. So something like this, that's that confirmation, that higher low. If we look at our momentum indicators here, we see gold bar flash on the 3-day, so buyers stepping in here on this breakout move. We've got the vortex indicator, looks like it's headed for that bullish cross. DMI, we want to see that bullish cross on the MACD. RSI is holding above, looking good. So just watch for that back test here, that entry, and then this is the trade that I have kind of marked right now based on the technicals. Alternatively, we might also continue to show more strength. If something like this happens where we break out further, we're just going to wait patiently and then see if we back test the 50-day. That might provide an opportunity and we'll adjust there. But right now, the technicals say that this entry is a possibility. So this is the one we're targeting and the one we're watching for now. So watch for this to come back here. Here's your entry. As soon as we get up to this level here, that's that Fibonacci resistance. So finding resistance with Fibonacci retracements, taking it from the swing high to the swing low, and we see that 0.5 Fibonacci resistance zone. So if we get to this level here, I say move your stop loss to entry. That makes it a risk-free trade. So we hit there, we move our stop loss to our entry. We're not going to lose anything if the price comes back down, and ultimately we're still maintaining that exposure. Or you could take some profits here, take 50% off the table or 30% off the table, something just to pay yourself or protect those gains, protect that position, and then ride it to the remaining target up here, which is a sell order block. So we can kind of see right there on the 3-day chart, big sell order block up in here. So that's kind of that target. We also see a few, let's pull up a few of our other indicators and see if we have any confluence. So also bull market support band showing a lot of resistance in through here. So that's what I say. You hit these resistances. Rarely ever do we break and just go right beyond them. Retest those levels, get it on the higher lows, ride it up to these targets, move your stop losses up, continue to hold, ride that momentum until it slows down, take your profits, boom, bam, we're out of that trade, book those profits and on to the next one. So still waiting patiently for that entry. If you're looking for those entries kind of in Tesla, you would have been wanting to buy when the stock market was down 15 to 20%. It's bounced now. We're not chasing this. We're waiting for the higher lows, getting in there and then riding it to the upside. We'll take a quick look at the lower time frames, see how it's looking on the daily and the 4-hour just to get a really good idea of everything going on here. And we're going to zoom right in on the, so yeah, nice accumulation in through here. Although, yeah, I do see on the daily a little bit overheated. That's why I think we could come back and retest these levels. You guys know my thoughts. Nothing goes straight up or down. We always come back, retest some form of support before moving higher. So wait for those entries. Don't get too crazy. Don't chase. Don't FOMO. Plot the levels, get those orders in, and then ride it when it comes down there. Execute it when those entries come to you. So that's pretty much it for Tesla. We see, well, look at the 4-hour, but it's probably going to look a little overheated as well. Kind of similar here. Yeah, so same thing that we were expecting, although we do have still pretty good, but yeah, more overheated on the low time frame. So that's my thoughts with Tesla. Looks pretty good on the high time frame. A nice downtrend breakout. We're starting to uptrend that price action on the 3-day. Our momentum indicators are looking good on the weekly and the 3-day, but we're just a little bit overheated on the 4-hour right now. So for me, I would rather wait patiently, wait for the price to come back to this target area here. So yeah, looking in this zone, get that entry, put your stop loss below key support, so right down here, and ride that to the upside if that's the kind of trend that we're going to get. So that's it for Tesla. Kind of no man's land into resistance, wait for a higher low, get your positions in there. Under 250, decent dollar cost average territory for Tesla. Down below kind of towards 215, this support zone here, more of an accumulation opportunity, but ultimately potentially being ready for the a revisit of this trend line, you know, somewhere under $175 per share for Tesla. It would be a really good accumulation opportunity. In my opinion, I would be a buyer down there. I also might look at taking a swing trade in through here. We'll see kind of how this price action develops, but continue watching it for now. Those are my thoughts on Tesla. So we'll jump into kind of more individual charts. If you guys have any requests, come over to the Telegram group or leave a comment. You know, request. I'm happy to share all these charts, these shorter videos. I want to give you the content that you guys want, so let me know and I'll be sure to get those updates out for you. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.